Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Absurd Arguments. But this isn't just any episode. This is
really?
Yes, this is in fact episode number 20.
Woohoo! We made it.
Yes,
Is this the part, Matthew? Is this the part where you're gonna like put in that song "Celebrate Good Times"? Come on.
No.
Like you're gonna edit that in, right?
No.
Or well, I mean, we could just pull up the lyrics and sing it together right now.
I don't want to.
But this is a momentous occasion, episode 20.
Yes, that is true.
The good folks out there, you know, they love listening to Matthew and Nathan, who's the names of the hosts, you know, of the podcast Absurd Arguments.
Yeah. But what is this Absurd Arguments podcast even about?
Well, Matthew, for the last 19 episodes or so, and I doubt the formula is going to change anytime soon, we usually argue about relatively absurd things. You know?
Okay. I see.
We've always been kind of a goofy podcast. We've never really been that serious, and we've always just been good at arguing, I think, about stupid stuff.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, good at arguing, maybe. Good at arguing about stupid stuff, yes.
Yeah, I think we're pros at this point.
Yeah, we talk about the things everyone else is too afraid to talk about.
Right, exactly. Like St. Patrick's Day, for example. That's this episode is coming out near that time, right?
It's actually tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. So it's tomorrow at the time this podcast is being released, and so this episode is going to be all about St. Patrick's Day. But I wanted to play a little game with you.
Oh no.
Yeah. I call this my new segment of I have a list of names, and I'm going to see if you can pronounce them. These are Irish names. Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. So there's really, I mean, after reading these for a while, I can sort of pick up the pattern, but there's almost no rhyme and reason to these names, and so I have quite a list here, and I'm gonna type in a name, and you try to pronounce it, and we'll see if you can get pretty close, and I'll tell you how it's really pronounced. Okay?
Okay, I was about to say, are you gonna tell me how it's pronounced, or are we just gonna sit in darkness for the rest of our lives?
No.
Okay.
And folks at home, I'm not gonna spell it out for you. You can try to Google these afterwards. Honestly, if you just bang your head on the keyboard a few times, it might spell out the Irish name on its own.
Actually, we can put these into the description and see how, you could see what it looks like and see how bad I butchered it.
Yeah, that could be good. Okay, so we'll put it in the description, and maybe you read it ahead of time. Pause the podcast, read them, try to pronounce them, and let's see how you line up.
Yep. Please pause the podcast now.
Okay, so here's the first one. I actually went to college with a girl with this name.
Okay.
And so let's see if you can get it.
Aoife?
Aoife. No, that is pronounced Aoife.
What the heck? That is not pronounced Aoife.
Yeah, that's pronounced Aoife, dude.
Oh, no, this is a bad start.
Yep. Oh, it gets worse. Okay, here's another one. I think this is a guy's name.
Blathnaid?
Blathnaid. No, that is Blathnaid.
No, it is. No, it is not.
It is Blathnaid. The TH is silent there.
Bull crap. It is not. Oh,
I'm serious. Okay, I'll give you an easy one. I've been giving you kind of tough ones. Here's an easy one. Let me make sure I spell it right. Honestly, it doesn't matter, but Don't overthink it.
Caitriona?
Caitriona. No, it's just Caitriona.
Oh.
Yeah, that O is silent, I think.
Dude, transliterating Gaelic to English is the dumbest thing ever.
Okay, now we're back to hard ones, okay?
We never left hard mode. No. What is this? Caoimhe.
No, this is Kiva.
What the freaking... Where's the V?
There is none. The MH makes a V sound.
Bull crap, dude. Oh, no.
Yeah. This one is the famous actor. The famous actor, the guy who plays Scarecrow, in the Batman movies. And
oh, yeah.
He's going to be in that new movie coming out with Christopher Nolan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This guy.
Cillian.
It's actually Cillian.
Frick!
Yeah. Yep.
No!
Okay. Here's another tough one. Oh, almost misspelled it. Okay. Good luck.
If you misspelled it, you would have done. Oh my gosh.
You might be able to get this one.
Dearbhla?
No, it's Dearbhla.
You said the M and the H was the V, not the B and the H.
Oh yeah. Well, now the B and the H.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Let's see. Here's another tough one.
Domhnall?
No. This is Domhnall.
No, what the M and the H, the V, it's not the V, it's the Domhnall? Oh my gosh. What?
For whatever reason, the M and H is silent now.
No!
Oh, I love this one. I've never known how to pronounce this one. So I'd be impressed if you get it.
I'm just gonna butcher it. Eoghan.
It's Owen. That's how they spell Owen, dude.
Hey, Ireland. I just want to take a moment to just kind of talk about something real quick. The Celtic culture and all that. It had its time. Eoghan is not Owen.
It is now.
It is not Owen. It'll never be Owen.
Well, it is in Ireland. Okay, all right. We're in the final 5. All right.
I was about to say, how much more suffering am I going to go through?
Just 5 more. Okay. Here's this one.
That's Fiona.
No, this is Fionnuala.
Are you telling me that's actually pronounced as it is written?
Yeah, Fionnuala. I mean, the O is silent, but yeah. Yeah. Actually, Fiona, dude, is the only, normal Irish name, I think.
Nice.
No, this is Nisha.
What?
Yeah.
Nisha.
Uh-huh. Okay. Here's one. This is actually there's that movie, The Ghosts of Inisherin. One of the characters' names is this one. And it makes no sense.
I'm gonna say his name is Prague.
Prague. No, it's Padraig, or you can pronounce it as Parik.
I try to pronounce it without the letters, and then whenever I do that, it actually has the letters. When I try to pronounce it with the letters, it actually doesn't have the letters. What?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, this is a famous actress. She's pretty great. I like her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You may know this one.
No, I don't.
Oh, you need to watch Little Women, man.
Saoirse?
You were very close. She pronounces hers as Saoirse, but you can also pronounce it. You can also pronounce it as Saoirse. I prefer to
Okay, I have
Saoirse.
heard Saoirse before. I just,
Hmm.
again, didn't know how to spell it.
Me personally, I love this name. Uh, it just is so beautiful to me.
Oh, I have seen this and I don't remember how to pronounce it.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
so pretty when you can pronounce it right.
Again, it's got the BH in the middle, so it's
Right.
either it is the V or it isn't the V. Um,
Hmm. It's a gamble, right? Come on, end on a strong note.
sh- uh,
Huh? Huh?
Chauvin?
Oh, you're so close. It's Siobhan.
Siobhan!
Uh huh. Siobhan. Isn't that such a pretty name?
Sure.
And this has been Nathan's new segment called Confusing Matthew with Weird Looking Names. Join us next time when I show him a bunch of Korean names and see if he can get those.
Yeah. Gosh, dude, I have a Hawaiian professor, and one day in class, he was in a good mood, and so he started writing out all these Hawaiian names, and I'm like,
Ugh.
I can't do it.
They're tough, man. Yeah, I think but it adds some spice to the world. These different kinds of names, you know. I
It's
dig them.
the only spice that it adds is you add red pepper flakes to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Red pepper flakes shouldn't belong in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And yet the Irish have added all these different, things in their language.
Dude, you say that, but just in the mail the other day, I ordered some. I got some suckers covered in chili pepper, like they eat down, in Mexico or whatever.
Man,
They're pretty dang good.
I'll take your word for it.
Yep.
As it has already been said before, I am a duke of normal people.
Mm-hmm. The Duke of Normal People. What an honor. All right. Well, honestly, that was a good segment. You did a great job, Matthew.
I
Appreciate.
missed every single one.
Yeah, you did, but you tried, and that's what counts.
Oh.
So why don't we start with our arguments? We've got a few lined up today, all about St. Patrick's Day. And so why don't we get started?
Yep, let's go ahead and cue that music. The first thing on our chopping block
Right.
is going to be whether or not you should actually wear green on St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, by the way, we didn't say how we did the research. I did the research by
That's
looking
right.
up YouTube videos. I did do a little cheating later. I'll talk about where I did cheat. But it was just because I couldn't get the right information. But I used YouTube. Nathan, how did you do your research?
A lot of it's at the top of my head, but I did go to Google for a little bit. I had free research this time, so yeah.
Okay,
And I picked one position, and I think you picked the others.
that is correct. That's
Yeah.
normally how that works.
Right. So what's our first one, Matthew?
Yeah, so the first topic of argumentation is whether or not you should wear green. And I picked that you should wear green because
Mm-hmm.
it's obvious.
Yeah.
St.
Why?
Patrick's Day is all about Ireland. It's all about the Irish people, Irish culture, all that jazz. You should
Yeah.
absolutely wear green.
Okay. So you're saying just because it's called the Emerald Isle, we have to wear green?
No.
Oh. Well, what's your reasoning?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because according to 10 Tampa Bay, a news channel in the Tampa Bay area,
I would
they did
assume.
a piece about St. Patrick's Day. And so the first thing they bring up is that, well, green is obviously worn because of Ireland. It's the national color of Ireland. And they wore it against when they were rebelling against the British. And they chose green because of Ireland's nickname, as you had already stated, is the Emerald Isle. And again, Isle,
Yeah.
ISLE. What's
Oh,
up
yeah.
with you know just the Irish and not and having letters
That's,
in there and then just like forgetting about them. Irish and
bro,
French are
that's
two dumb languages.
Isle is just a normal English word, dude.
Yeah, but it's stupid because you don't have that. You don't have the S, and same with island. You don't have the S. I don't know. Language is dumb.
Yeah.
We should all just stop talking.
No.
You turn, just imagine you turn on the podcast, and then all of a sudden the intro music begins to fade out, and it's 10 minutes of nothing, and
Just
then
silence.
and then all of a sudden the transition music comes on, and then it eventually fades out to nothing.
Right.
Good radio.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyways, but one reason of green is according to Irish legend, green makes you invisible to leprechauns. And what leprechauns do,
Leprechauns.
yes, leprechauns are just mischievous little beings that will come around and pinch everyone they see. And if you wear green, that makes you invisible to leprechauns, which means they can't pinch you. And that's why in today that if you don't wear green on St. Patrick's Day, you will get pinched because everyone is just an overgrown leprechaun, apparently.
Hey, Matthew, you don't really believe that leprechauns are real, do you?
Oh, I did say according to Irish legend.
So you don't believe they're real, right? They're not real.
According to 10 Tampa Bay, that Irish legend says that leprechauns, Irish legend says that leprechauns exist and they, pinch people that they can see because they're mischievous little creatures with nefarious intentions.
They're not real. They're not real.
So there's also another YouTube channel that's called Yvonne Page Illustrates, and it talked about the same thing, and it gave a little bit more history in it to where actually Ireland used the color blue because that was the color that the Catholic Church gave St. Patrick. And so that the blue was the color of St. Patrick until the Great Irish Rebellion of 1641. So we actually have like a day to where this was when green became more widely used, and it was because they had a green flag with a harp on it, and that was kind of the sign of the Irish rebels. So that's kind of why, where we get the whole basis of wearing green. And as Nathan, as you know, and listeners, you might have figured out, I am a big history guy. I enjoy history. I enjoy traditions and learning about them. And so I just like to keep things, going, of traditions to keep going, except for, dumb traditions. But this is a good one because, the British are not great. Shout out to all our British listeners out there. The British aren't great. And the Irish are far superior, except when it comes to language. So that's why we should wear green.
Matthew, look, these were, no offense, real dumb reasons, okay? First of all right, everyone knows leprechauns aren't real, okay?
Sure.
I know I said that earlier, but the thing is, there's no such thing as a leprechaun coming up to sneak up on you to pinch you for not wearing green. And
is that so?
You have no reason to fear that I'm going to pinch you for not wearing green. You might be thinking, Nathan, I'm worried that you'll pinch me because I'm not wearing green. I would never in a million years do that.
It's true because you're not a leprechaun.
Yeah, right. And they don't exist. So, totally safe. You can afford to not wear green.
But what if I look like dashing in green?
Bah, well, wear it another day. You shouldn't wear it for St. Patrick's Day.
I shouldn't wear it for St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
Green, one of the few colors I look good in. When it comes to St.
Well,
Patrick's Day, you could skip that one day.
well, see, uh, I mean, let's say theoretically,
Okay.
okay, perhaps someone who's hosting this podcast enjoys pinching people. All right. And so I think it would be in their best interest for people to not wear green. You know, so because okay, there's only one day a year where it's
Uh-huh.
legal to pinch people, and
Legal.
yeah,
So wait. Are you
yeah.
saying it's illegal to pinch on any other day?
Well, I mean, unless you have permission, unless the person's like, "Hey, you can pinch me anytime."
So whenever I would go to my grandparents' house when
Uh huh.
they live up in Arkansas, and I'd go to them, my
Mm-hmm.
grandpa would always pinch me, and I never visited him on St. Patrick's Day. So are
He
you
was.
telling me that my grandpa, my lovely
Uh huh.
truck driving grandpa,
Whoa.
was breaking the law by lovingly
Um.
pinching his grandson because he hadn't seen him in a couple years? And
Did
that
he
was
have?
just the way he showed affection.
Okay. Were you cool with it? Like, did it bother
Yeah.
you?
No.
Oh. Okay. It didn't bother you. You were cool with it.
Hmm.
Therefore, he had your permission.
But he didn't.
Huh?
I
Okay.
never
Let's
I
say.
never gave him my permission. He just did
Okay,
it because that's how he showed affection.
But Matthew, let's say the first time he pinches you,
Uh-huh.
instead of your reaction being like, "Grandpapa, don't do that, please." Okay, if that
In
wasn't your
Arkansas, no
reaction,
one spoke like that.
hey, granddad, I'm gonna pinch you back.
It's even more. 5-year-old Matthew going up to, hey, Grandpa, what's up? Where's the pinches?
Hey, Grandpa, don't you pinch me now.
I'm gonna get away from you, Grandpa. You can't catch me.
I'm running away. Okay, look, if your first reaction was like screaming and yelling and like slapping your grandpa and telling him
Mhm.
never to freaking pinch you again,
Uh-huh.
clearly he has no permission to pinch you.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Clearly. And to be fair, he probably should have asked, hey grandson. And you would have been like, hello, grandfather. And he would have been like, is it okay for me to pinch you? That is the way I show affection. And you would have been like, yes, grandfather, I approve.
Mm.
And then the transaction could have, commenced. But see, there's just one day a year.
No, hold on a second. The transaction would have commenced.
Sorry.
That
Okay.
means that I get something that he gets something in return. So if he pinched me, I have to give him something in return. What could
Um,
a 5-year-old child possibly offer a grandpa?
your giggles.
Fair enough. That's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, so for those of us, not me, it could be you for all the listeners now, but for those of us who enjoy pinching people,
Mm,
St. Patrick's Day is the perfect legal day to do that.
no,
Yeah, it's legal.
it's not illegal.
If
Therefore, it
I'm,
can't. It's not illegal. Therefore, it can't be legal on one
yeah,
particular day without it being legal on all the other days.
okay, fine. I'll grant you, it's socially acceptable. So
It's not
don't be
though.
shocked. Don't be shocked that I'm going down to downtown Fort Worth and Dallas, walking along the streets looking for non-green wearers, you know? And as soon as I spot one, I get like my forefinger and my middle finger and like a crab, I tap them against my thumb and I go, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. And I'm going to smile a little bit. So they know it's fun. It's like a joke. And they're going to be like, you don't have my permission to do that. And I go, St. Patrick's Day. And the person will go, rats, I forgot. And then I
No,
get to
they will forcefully tell you to, you know, in as much colorful language as they please back away from me, or else I will punch the living daylights out of you.
No,
And Nathan, there is one thing about your statement that I know is incorrect about what you said.
Yeah, what?
You are wanting to get up and walk around.
Oh, shut up. I'll go. Hey, look, if it's for pinching, I'll go for a walk around the city blocks. I've been training just for pinching day. I mean, St. Patrick's Day.
Is that so?
Yeah, I don't call it pinching day. I call it
Okay.
St. Patrick's Day. Look, the thing is,
Bogus.
Matthew.
Bogus.
Okay, here's the thing. Me and the other pinchers out there, we are annoyed. Well, maybe I'll talk about this later, but I hate that leprechauns, you know, are the ones who get the credit for pinching. When it's really just me and the community, the wider community of pinchers who enjoy going and pinching people. You know? But it's leprechauns who we're told to fear. You should, I mean, you shouldn't fear us, but, you know, we deserve some credit, you know? So, I don't know.
No.
What's the next one?
So our next topic is continuing on the color green. And we're talking about dyeing things green.
Yeah.
And we're talking about mainly the Chicago River, because every year since 1962, the Journeyman Plumbers Local Union 130 started this tradition and has continued to this day of dyeing the Chicago River green. And we want to talk about, is it actually okay to dye the river green?
I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, my main reasoning goes back to leprechauns again. Okay. All right. So let's say I want to pinch people, but if they've already been pinched, you know, that takes some of the fun out of it. I want to be the first one to pinch people.
Okay.
So let's say a leprechaun's out wandering. All right. And he looks down and look, you know, the color green is invisible to him. All right. So he looks down into this, there's like just a bank, you know, there's just like a canal, you know, and he says to himself, I should just jump into this canal, see if there's any people not wearing green. Yep. He jumps in there. It's actually the river that's invisible to him, and he drowns. He drowns to death. Wow. And so that's one less leprechaun on the streets. So that means I can pinch more people. So
interesting.
I'm cool with dyeing rivers, lakes, all of it green as much as possible on St. Patrick's Day, just so I can pinch more people than the stupid leprechauns. The leprechauns are not very smart. I could see them jumping into rivers thinking it was dry ground all the time.
Interesting. Now, Nathan, I want to point something out about the argument you just made.
Okay.
You said leprechauns are not real, correct?
I did. I did.
So your entire reason for why we should dye the Chicago River green is solely based upon so that leprechauns can drown themselves.
Okay,
and
Matthew.
Leprechauns also do not exist.
I lied. Okay? Okay, I admit it.
Wow.
Leprechauns are real. Okay? Wow. I thought you could get that from my tone, but I want people to think leprechauns do not exist. Because if people knew the truth, that at any moment on St. Patrick's Day, a short little man dressed in green could sneak up on them and pinch them, if they knew the truth, they would wear green all day long. But if they don't believe, Matthew, if they don't believe, then they're not going to wear green, and I have more opportunities to pinch people, along with the greater pinching community. So honestly, that's what I want. I don't like leprechauns. I wish they didn't exist. I honestly wish that. Okay, but that's why I'm trying to do my best to think of ways, okay, how can we kill the leprechauns without being mass murderers? You know, like how could I get rid of them without people being like, "Oh, you kill leprechauns." It's like, "No, the stupid leprechaun just jumped into the Green River because it was invisible to him."
How can we round up all the leprechauns in the world and put them in
Like
learning
camps?
communities?
Oh, yeah, we can call them learning communities. We
Learning
don't have to call
communities to help them better understand the world and how it actually is and how it would be better if they didn't exist.
Yeah, well, not that they shouldn't exist, but like they could coexist with us, I guess. I just don't want them pinching people on St. Patrick's Day because I want to do it.
Gosh, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
As in the same way of the many genocides over the years, Nathan wants to start a genocide of leprechauns.
No, I just want them to kill themselves.
What's the difference?
One is hey,
that's awful.
No, I mean, but it's okay, Matthew, because they're not real, right?
You clearly believe they are real.
I do, but you don't. You don't care. They're not real to you, right?
This is
So just let me go on my leprechaun, education camp. Communities tour. You don't have to worry about it. I'll take care of the leprechauns, man. You have nothing to fear. You don't have to wear green.
Well, this is folks at home.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about me and my childhood last week when I talked about my lack of 2 front teeth for 4 of my formative years growing up. Now we're learning about Nathan's insatiable desire to rid the world of leprechauns through re-education and assisted suicide.
Okay, Matthew, when you phrase it like that, it sounds bad, but...
That's because it is bad, Nathan.
Matthew.
No.
Okay.
Listen to me. You listen to me. This is bad. You can... I don't know of any other episode you could take out of context more and it sound like we are the worst people alive in this particular span of 10 minutes.
Matthew, 30 minutes ago, leprechauns were not even on your radar. You didn't even think a leprechaun could be real. You didn't even consider that they were real. And so now that I revealed to you they are real and I'm going to kill them, all of a sudden now you're upset? You didn't care about leprechauns.
I never said that leprechauns do or do not exist. You can listen back. Folks at home, you can rewind and get the good stats up a little bit on this podcast. You can re-listen to all of the podcasts until this point again. And you can tell us if I ever affirmed or denied the existence of leprechauns up until this point. I have said nothing about whether I believe they do exist or don't exist because I am trying to be careful with what I say. And Nathan's over here just like, yeah, kill him.
Okay, Matthew, here's another benefit. All right? Okay, if we get rid of all the leprechauns, we can get their pots of gold at the bottom of the rainbow. There. What a benefit.
Nathan,
now we can get rich off of it. Does that make you feel better?
I have a question. I have a question for you.
What?
Have you ever tried to get to the end of a rainbow?
Yes. That's a dumb question.
Did you ever make it there?
It was so hard.
Did you make it?
Not yet.
Exactly. So how can you say that there is a pot of gold? What if the leprechauns, again, they are dubious, nefarious, and mischievous creatures. And they say, we've got a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
But no one's ever made it. You've never made it.
That.
How do you know? What if they're leading you to a river, the Chicago River that's dyed green, so they can lead you to, quote unquote, re-education?
They would never.
What if it's a ploy to get rid of you, Nathan?
Hey,
What if the leprechauns are trying to get rid of everyone that wants to pinch people so that they alone could be the pinchers?
so you're trying to say this is one of those I stood back while the leprechauns were being hounded up and I didn't do anything and now they're coming for me type of situation?
No, I'm saying that they're taking a stand.
I don't know.
They're saying, you know what? All this stuff about us, we're going to reenact the Great Irish Rebellion of 1641, but we're going to do it against the pinchers.
It's okay. Hey, look, us pinchers, we got pretty good pinching claws, so I think we'll be safe.
Big, meaty claws.
You know, here's a concept we hadn't really considered about leprechauns.
Yeah.
If the color green is invisible to them,
Mm-hmm.
and they're always wearing green,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean they're just walking around naked in each other's eyes?
It's a good question.
Because that's kind of weird.
Mm.
Another reason to get rid of leprechauns. They're a bunch
I
of wackos.
haven't even said what I have to think about the Chicago River, but at this point, I
Right.
kind of don't want to because you're
No.
really digging yourself a big old grave here.
Okay, here's a real reason.
Okay.
Okay, here's why I think it's great. They use vegetable-based dye to dye the Chicago River green, and it
Mhm.
only lasts like a day or two, according to this article I read about it.
Okay.
And the thing is, it's vegetable-based dye, which means less vegetables out in the world, which means more meaty, great food for us.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm all cool. I'm all on board with getting rid of more vegetables.
Mm. Well, I think for more reasons than one now at this point for what's been revealed to us, that I think dyeing the Chicago River is ethically wrong. And now it's because Nathan believes that leprechauns will kill themselves jumping into it, trying to find more people to pinch. So there's one reason that I don't even have to argue.
Okay.
You've heard it here first, folks. Nathan is a monster.
Just on
But
St. Patrick's Day.
every other day, nah, he's fine. No, but for my reasons is yes, of course, it was started by the Journeyman Plumbers Local Union 130 in 1962. Oh, by the way, this comes from a video from the channel Ask About APPS, Ask About Apps.
Ask about a peepee.
PPs.
Yeah, we're a bunch of middle schoolers.
Oh, dang it.
Why did you
Gosh.
spell it out?
Because it's in all caps.
Yeah, you should have done that. You should have just said ask apps.
Anyways.
Anyway, continue.
So the organizers, they say that the dye is vegetable based, but folks, we know. We know we can't trust the government.
That's true.
The government says it's plant based, but is it? Because now I'll tell you this, according to the video, the green dye is made with fluorescein dye.
Oh.
Now, this is where I cheated a little bit. According to the National Library of Medicine, fluorescein dye or fluorescein toxicity is rare, but it is dangerous because fluorescein toxicity may present as headache. There may be seizures and vomiting, several complications such as an epileptic crisis, more epilepsy, of grand mal epilepsy, a lot of other things I can't say. There's peripheral nerve palsy are always secondary of higher concentrations. I mean, there's so much terrible things that are in fluorescein. I wonder how many times I'm going to change the pronunciation of one word. Fluorescein toxicity. And that's the stuff we're pouring into the Chicago River, of where there are so many different types of wildlife. One video I was watching said it has, different types of fish. Birds will fly through there and get the fish through that. Beavers also live in the Chicago River. And when it flows down, guess where all that fluorescein dye is going towards? Wildlife. Why isn't that an issue?
So let me see if I can get this straight.
Okay.
Fluorescein is, you're saying it's dangerous. It's a weird chemical, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's used in the dye that they make the Chicago River green with.
And so you're saying it makes things, I mean, this dye ingredient makes things die, like IRL.
Yes.
Seems like another great reason to keep using that dye against the leprechauns.
See, this is why dyeing the Chicago River is ethically wrong.
Yeah.
Because Nathan thinks it's a good idea.
Well, I'm sad. I mean, it will be sad to lose the beavers, the birds, and the fish. But if that means
let me guess. The ends justify the means.
I mean, if that means that one less leprechaun is sneaking around in the shadows.
So you would ravage an entire ecosystem just to get rid of at least one leprechaun?
No. Chicago's ecosystem. It's too far gone at this point, man.
I mean, the
Poor
Transformers
Chicago.
did go and absolutely wreck Chicago in that movie.
They did. Yeah, they were in that one. They were in Chicago in that one Transformers movie that, and they're all very different movies. They don't run together in my mind at all.
That's, oh gosh, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Matthew.
R.I.P. Chicago.
Chicago, we're sorry. Matthew, let's go on something I think we could both agree on. Okay. Because we've been talking about some really ridiculous stuff. And so let's just get down to facts. Okay.
All right.
We've been dancing around St. Patrick's Day, but we haven't been talking about the man. Okay. And so I would like to talk about what I think is really cool about St. Patrick. All right. He's a very famous saint, really told a lot of people about Jesus and the Lord and stuff. He was really awesome. But I think one of the coolest things he did was he went on top of this really big hill in Ireland and he banished all the snakes into the river.
Incorrect.
What do you mean?
Scientific and fossil evidence shows that there have never been snakes in Ireland.
Yeah, because he banished them all.
Up until St. Patrick was there, fossil records have never shown a single snake in Ireland.
Okay. I think St. Patrick was so powerful at banishing the snakes that even the skeleton, like the snakes as they slithered away, were like, oh, I should probably unbury my Uncle Tim. We also need to take him to the sea. Or, oh, I need to unbury my Aunt Marie or whatever.
No. They would have unburied their uncle Owen and their
Siobhan, Aunt Siobhan.
Aunt Siobhan.
Right. Personally, theoretically, he banished the snakes to the sea. What if the fossils also were like, darn, we need to get out of here too? And so they jumped into the sea as well.
No.
I really don't see any alternative here.
Nathan, let me tell you one thing that was a bigger plague than the actual Black Plague itself.
Okay.
Paganism.
Ooh.
Paganism is disastrous, especially for the land that was created by the Lord our God, and Satan has taken people's minds and twisted it to everything else. Paganism is what was used. Snakes are often used in religious symbolism as evil and destruction, and we can base that on, all the way to Genesis chapter 1, talking about, the Satan took the form of a snake to deceive Eve and cause Adam to fall into sin. And so snakes have always been looked at as evil by the church through the years. And so when people said, oh, he drove the snakes out of Ireland, St. Patrick didn't drive out actual snakes because there were none. No, he banished the pagans from the great Emerald Isle.
Okay, so like in the words of Jesus, when he is talking to the Pharisees and he calls them like a den of vipers or whatever, he's not literally calling out snakes, is he?
No, he's actually, again,
Like
using
snake.
that symbolism to say that you look like you are cunning and you seem to be smart at what you're doing, but you are just evil. You are a brood of vipers.
Right. Okay, look, not to go against the Bible too much, but there's a song called Saint Patrick Was a Gentleman
Interesting.
by the Wolf Tones. And so it talks about Saint Patrick. I'll read some of the lyrics to you. Okay, so starting off, they say, that Saint Patrick was a gentleman. He came from decent people. In Dublin town, he built a church, and on it, he put a steeple. His father was a Callahan. His mother was a Brady. His auntie an O'Shaughnessy. His uncle an O'Grady. So, according to this song, Saint Patrick was just a normal guy, like you and me, okay?
Yes.
St. Patrick was just a normal guy, all right? He came from good people, the O'Shaughnessy's, the O'Grady's, the stereotypical Irish last name people, okay?
Right.
And just like a normal person, he hated snakes and frogs for some reason. Because according to the chorus, it says he was a saint so clever, he'd give the snakes and toads a twist and banish them forever.
Interesting.
Now, here's a part that's really important because it talks about, him stomping on things and he murders them, the snakes and toads. It says that the toads went hop, the frogs went pop, slap haste into the water, and beasts committed suicide to save themselves from slaughter.
You would enjoy this song.
I didn't say I enjoyed it, but I would say there's precedence for my wanting to kill leprechauns. Good old St. Patrick himself. He got the snakes to commit suicide, So yeah, he that's what he did, Matthew. He got the snakes off of the island. And thank goodness.
No.
Snakes, what?
They weren't actual snakes. They were pagans.
Yeah, sure they were. Why would the legend say snakes then, if they didn't mean that?
Again, it's that religious symbolism. It's not because, it's one thing to say he drove out the pagans and then go, oh, cool, whatever. But then it's that poetic way to speak that a lot of people are missing nowadays.
I think nothing's more poetic than hearing about snakes being pushed into the water and dying.
Yeah, but then,
The bad snakes.
You are a fan of literature, correct?
Oh, yeah, I am.
Did you forget who you were for a second?
I forgot what literature was for a second.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's try that again. Nathan,
Yeah.
You're a fan of literature, aren't you?
I am. I love it. And that's me.
You
I'm
enjoy.
Nathan.
Yep, that's here. He is. In case you forgot, you enjoy writing, and what makes a good film in terms of its script and writing. You
absolutely.
all are constantly reading books that cause you to think and question things.
That's me.
Why would you now separate that from one little legend?
I just want to believe. Just let me believe that this guy, okay, took a break from telling people about the Lord one day and was like, hey guys, I'm annoyed by snakes. I'm going to get rid of them.
No.
I just want to believe.
False.
Okay, what if it was, all right, okay, what if it was a witnessing tool? Okay, hear me out.
All
Okay,
right.
because remember the story of Paul in the Bible, where
Mm-hmm.
he, his boat gets shipwrecked, and they go on this island, and he's gathering firewood, and there's this snake that bites him,
Mm-hmm.
and all of the people on the island are like, he's gonna die by morning, because that's the most poisonous snake on the island. But Paul is so cool because he just throws the snake into the fire and it dies. And the next morning, Paul is not only still alive, but he's thriving, you know?
Okay.
And that was a great witness, because the islanders were like, oh my goodness, God must be real, because he saved Paul from this deadly snake bite. So what
Mm-hmm.
if the people of Ireland was like, we don't want to believe in God because snakes exist? And St. Patrick's just a normal guy.
Oh, man, I'm
But
actually kind of
just like
tired.
us, he also
I
hated snakes.
I think I might just close my eyes for just a second. That sounds like a good idea.
Clever. He'd give the snakes and toads a twist.
You know, all this talk about Ireland and, St. Patrick's Day, it really makes me stop and think about how far removed I am from my Irish heritage. I mean, my ancestors lived in a castle, and here I am, in a random apartment in DFW. If only I could go back to those days where my ancestors were just enjoying living, in a castle. And they would walk outside and kind of gallop through the potato fields. Oh, what a time that would have been to just go outside and smell the lovely potatoes. I mean, just think of it. The crisp feel as you rub the dirt off it. You begin to just peel it, and you take it home and wash it, and you'd make so many things with the potato. I miss the feeling of my homeland. And if I could ever go back, oh, how I would. But no. Instead, I'm here, talking to some blithering idiot. What has this world come to? That's the question we have to ask. What has this world come to? I don't know. I wish I did, but I just don't. I mean, this man is talking about leprechauns and killing them. I can't imagine. What on earth is this man talking about? Oh, there's so many things I wish I could ask him, but he won't listen to me. I'm so bored. I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Wait, what just happened? Where am I? What's going on? Nathan? Nathan, can you hear me? Oh no. Nathan?
Greetings, Matthew. You have found your way to the deepest recesses of your mind.
Where am I?
Oh, are you not paying attention? I just said you're in the deepest recesses of your mind. You've completely lost track of what is real and what is not. And instead, you are lost in your own thoughts.
Well then, how do I get out of here? Because, I'm in the middle of recording a podcast episode with my friend Nathan, and he was just talking, and I was so incredibly bored that I have to get out of here. How do I do that?
You silly boy. There is no leaving. You put yourself in this mess, and there's nothing you can do to get yourself out of this. Only I hold the key, but you have to do something for me.
All right, fine. I'll do it. What do I need to do? I have to get out of here because Nathan is not going to edit this episode. So what do I need to do?
You see, the task is actually quite simple. All you have to do is go to the deepest, most hidden and secret parts of your memory. And since you can't currently escape your thoughts, it should be easier than you think. And once you get there, there will be something that is only known as the artifact. It is a sphere of pure power and chaos, and it holds the difficulty and trauma of your childhood. And once you bring that to me, then I will decide if you are worthy to leave this place or not.
I'm not gonna do that.
Are you sure you're listening to me? Because I feel like there's some sort of disconnect between what I'm saying and what you're understanding. There is no way you can...
Oh, hey, look, a door.
Wait, how did that door appear?
Ah, cool. Well, it was nice knowing you. We'll see you later.
No, don't! Where are you going? Get back here. You can't get away from me. You can't get away from dealing with what you've gone through in your past. You come back here. You deal with your past.
All right, folks. I'm sure whatever Nathan said was great and super, what's the word? Super informative.
Beautiful.
But my internet has now died twice in the recording process. And I have to get to class in just, less than half an hour. So instead of trying to do it all again, this is what we're going to do. St. Patrick drove out the pagans.
Fine.
And that's it. That's what he did. I had videos, I had stuff to say, but the internet sucks.
It was folks, it was just a joke. I don't really believe he drove out the snakes. But
well,
leprechauns,
you were very convincing in your argument, I'm sure.
Thanks, man.
I just didn't hear it.
I know, I went on such a long tangent.
I mean, out of the both of us, I'm the one that normally does the better research and is more prepared.
Yeah, well,
you're
okay.
I mean, out of just the two of us,
yeah.
Your preparation and your surprisingly long-windedness.
Well, okay. I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was a cool story, and
I mean, it is,
yeah.
Sure.
I mean, as like a little kid, I remember, I remember hearing it before, and I just wanted to share it with people, and theorize about like the benefits of him driving the snakes out of Ireland. And
I'm sure, but here's the deal. Why don't we go ahead? We'll cue the music, and we'll just get out of here. How does that sound?
I mean, but you haven't even given your rebuttal or anything.
No, I think I've done enough.
I mean,
it's clearly the pagans. There's no fossils. Anyways,
like, I know we've been recording for like 2.5 hours at this point, but surely you've got some like objections against St. Patrick and the snakes. Like you have some material, because I mean, I know I've been going on for a while. 2 hours is a long time, but
dude, I have 2 YouTube videos. You apparently looked at the Encyclopedia Britannica for your own enjoyment, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm sorry, Matthew. I didn't know it was boring you.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll cue the music. We'll get out of this, and everyone else, if we'll plug the email, plug social media, and we'll act like it's just another normal episode. I mean, we're on a happier note, maybe. I don't know. Well,
Wait, so all of the effort I went into in the talking that I've done for 2 hours, you're just going to cut most of that?
Nathan, this is a comedy podcast. You talked for 2 hours.
I mean, I just really...
You talked for 2 hours, Nathan, uninterrupted.
I mean, I was wondering why you were so quiet.
I have to go to class.
Yeah, fine.
Who knows? Maybe
just cue the music. Just cue it.
Yeah, you know, we will. We'll just cue it. This is...
Play the music.
Folks, here's the thing. If you found this particular episode as educational in many different ways, as in you found out more about some things about the Chicago River, Nathan's view of leprechauns, or even, you know, the whole just legend of St. Patrick himself, we have a couple places where you can tell us your thoughts, whether negative or positive, preferably positive. You can find us in an email. We are absurdargumentsforyou@gmail.com. That is absurdarguments, the number 4, the letter U, @gmail.com. And we're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Right. Yep. Well, we hope y'all enjoyed this episode. And hopefully you can take the Irish name test. And I hope that you did a little bit better than Matthew did.
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
Yep.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. So we'll see you all in the next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye.